B. I'ma put you up on the schedule. 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DePrima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the move. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DePrima. Go sis. Go sis. Go sis. First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DePrima. This show is called First Things First. And my very first thing every day is prayer. Giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from the Most High. Asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. We stir the pot. That's what we do. And there's a lot to stir up today, y'all. It is a Freedman Friday. That's because every Friday is a Freedman Friday around here, which means the second hour of our day, we focus on reparations, keeping us abreast, up to date, in the mix, and hopefully part of the solution. Incredibly, the issue continues to gain momentum, even though we have a terrible administration. So that's tribute to the power of the people. So today we'll do that. We'll be talking with Dave on love. Should be quite an interesting conversation. Love is a Baltimore political organizer and the director of public policy for Leaders of a Beautiful Struggle. They've been doing some powerful work around reparations there, and we will get the update on that. Hour 3, the phone lines are wide open. We will be having, in hour 3 of the show, we will be having caller amnesty, meaning if you've called earlier this week, we typically say you could call one time per week, but we suspend that from time to time. We call it caller amnesty. That's what we're doing in the third hour of today's show. But, we gonna mix it up, be warned. I'm finding that's the perfect balance between the IRAs and the chairwoman of the chat room. Joining me right now in this Sagittarian birthday season. Happy birthday to all my Sagittarians, especially my bonus mom, Amina Baraka. Today is her B-Day. But we're being joined by labor organizer, and she is a KBLA contributor, a mama, and an activist, Sherri Bell. Good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. Good morning, KBLA fam out there.
Great to see you, as always.
Yes. Pleasure to be here.
I know that there's a bunch of folks in our KBLA delegation that just look forward. When is Sherri coming? When is Sherri coming? Well, today's that day. You got your own fan club, and I love that for us.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, but speaking of shot out of a cannon and a lot of things that we are kind of dealing with right now, the U.S. Extreme Court made a ruling yesterday basically affirming the maps that were ordered up like a menu item by the president. I need 5 more seats.
Right.
I don't think he said 5, but it reminded me of that. I need 16,000 whatever votes. Mm-hmm. And now the Extreme Court, surprising no one, has affirmed, which means Republicans get 5 more seats.
5 more seats, yeah. I mean, it all kicked off with Donald Trump saying this on live television. And that's what prompted California to kick off Prop 50, which let Californian voters decide to redraw some maps of our own to counterbalance it. And there was a period of time where we were in suspense because a lower court in Texas suspended the racially motivated redrawn maps because they were indeed deemed racially motivated. Right. So we were waiting in limbo, and yesterday we finally found out that the extreme Supreme Court upheld these maps that were ordered up like a Happy Meal or extra value meal at McDonald's on live television. And it's really despicable. I mean, there were some people that had a little hope, like, man, maybe the Supreme Court does see, that this is racially motivated. And no, they sure not. They sure did not. And, I was just thinking about like the Dred Scott decision, right? That was only about like less than 10 years before my great grandfather was born.
Wow.
That deemed us, that we should be enslaved and we were not citizens, and that was the Supreme Court back then. And I know that they claim that the Supreme Court by the founding fathers was intended to be like a partisan, like a impartial judiciary body, but it has always been politically motivated, and now this current example is just. This current situation is an example of how politically motivated it is, defying all logic.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Sherri, I have a slightly different interpretation, which is I think they know those maps are racially motivated and they do not care.
Well, yeah.
They don't care. They're going to say, oh, well, they're basically saying that they didn't make the case. But the case couldn't be clearer. You've erased Black and Latino districts. I mean, the case makes itself.
Yeah, I mean, and the points that they were using about judicial overreach, right? That the lower court overstepped by interfering with the election process, upsetting the balance between state and federal authority. I mean, the lower courts, what about the president of the United States on television inserting himself into a local election by ordering up 5 seats? Like, why wasn't like that mentioned? Like, it's so anyone can make an argument. They always say like a great orator, a lawyer, what these judges are. They have the ability to argue both sides successfully. So they'll pick and choose whatever verbiage or legal arguments that will benefit whatever agenda that they are doing, whether it's logical or truthful or makes sense or not. So, right. Yeah.
You know how they say girl math and boy math, Supreme Court math.
Racist math.
Yeah, right. White supremacist math is really what it is. Well, so here's what I don't know, but how do you think this impacts California and Prop 50? Does that mean that, because Prop 50 is still being challenged in court, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think the difference is that our proposition was voted on. Right. It went through a process of the Californian voters deciding that. And I know Republicans probably, it's very sickening and annoying how like Republicans will say, well, Prop 50 is illegal. They knew what they were doing and all that jazz. But I never hear them making any kind of comment on Donald Trump's statements about redrawing 5 maps in Texas. They will say 2 wrongs don't make a right, but they don't condemn it. They don't say how it's wrong. They don't, they're not challenging or saying, well, Prop 50 is bad and so is the Texas is bad. Like if Prop 50 is bad, if they're challenging Prop 50, why not support a lawsuit against the Texas redrawn maps? They're literally the same thing. Why is one permissible and one is deemed unlawful enough for you to sue? It's the same thing.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Does that mean that the U.S. Supreme Court just said basically, oh, Prop 50 is good to go? But, these people are some real, to your point, some real blatant, I don't give a racists.
Agents of chaos and confusion.
So, right. So it wouldn't surprise me if they deemed California somehow unlawful after giving the okie dokie to, the go ahead, the wink wink to Texas.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. And we've been seeing ever since like movies like Birth of a Nation, how people are willing to rewrite history, you know. And
Sherri took it all the way back to Birth of a
Man.
Nation, which they did screen in the White House
Yeah, they
at the
screened-
time,
yeah,
which was KKK propaganda. I mean, it was pro-KKK propaganda.
right. So, and if you're willing to pick and choose and lift up things to out, like people do with the Bible, like if you want to oppress people and get your point across, you'll pick and choose little arguments out to lift up and support your narrative while omitting things that will counterbalance your argument. So these legalese professionals might try to argue Prop 50 is illegal, even though they allowed Texas to proceed. They'll try to pick and nitpick and choose something else, you know.
Right. They'll come up with another excuse.
Another excuse. That's what it would literally be.
Yeah, that's what they do. But I do think that it's going to make them look super hypocritical.
Oh,
And this is where I believe the governor and the lawmakers in California were very brilliant by naming this, you know, bill after Texas and making it very clear that our bill is a response to that, and it only goes into effect if you do that.
And they did it.
Yeah.
And so this is the anti-rigging
Yeah.
response act,
Right.
right.
Anti-election rigging response act.
So there we go. Our intentions are right in the language of the bill. You know,
Yeah,
like
and
the
I think that's really
Yeah.
good. Even though they'll probably never hear that name on Fox News. But still, the fact that, you know, it's there, at least it shows that when they continue their quest to overturn Prop 50, which to your point, they should just go, oh, well, the extreme court said it's okay. I guess we'll leave California alone. But they're not going to do that.
Ain't that something? It's just illogical and crazy. And another thing that with the whole Supreme Court's legal argument on why they allowed the redrawn maps to proceed is they said that there's a difference between a permissible partisan gerrymandering allowing maps to boost Republican power.
Right.
So they tried to say that it wasn't racial, it was political.
Which in a way is admitting that racism is synonymous with the Republican Party.
I would say wow.
800-920-1580. That's the number if you want to call in. Sherri Bell is here, and we're talking about things, and I always love to hear from you. This is KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-729-7070. That's 1-800-729-7070. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-729-7070. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
KBLA Talk 1580 remembers Robin Ayers on the 1-year anniversary of her passing. 1 year ago this week, we lost a remarkable and vibrant voice. Robin Ayers touched countless lives through her passion, her love, her service, and her smile, which you could see through the radio. KBLA Talk 1580 honors her memory and celebrates the legacy she left behind. Robin, your spirit lives on in every conversation, in every connection, and in every one of us, inspired by your voice. Gone, but never forgotten. KBLA Talk 1580, where voices matter.
I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns. I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a black and brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DePrima right now.
Sherri Bell is here. She asked me questions I don't know the answer to during news, traffic, and sports. Well, look it up, Sherri. We'll look it up. That's because I was marveling at the fact that that Netflix, apparently, this is breaking news, Netflix has won the bidding order by Warner Brothers, and they are going to get it for $72 billion. That includes HBO Max, HBO, and CNN. And it's you were talking about media consolidation.
Yeah, I have a problem with like less and less individual voices out there. Like the more big corporations buy up media outlets, they control and get a monopoly over the news and the information that folks are seeing. So it's harder to challenge or get different perspectives when it's being consumed by one owner, like iHeartRadio.
They're media monopolies.
Yeah, media monopolies.
They're media monopolies.
Yes.
And what has happened since I've been in this business, which has been a long time, is that there are fewer and fewer places to work for. Right. And so that means there is less of a variety of voices, a variety of political opinions. And what we see right now is a consolidation of power, with the far right. So you had the purchase of Paramount by Skydance, which is Larry Ellison, which is one of the tech bros behind Trump. As one of the MAGA hard right tech bros. Now they own that, which means they own CBS. First thing they did was install a right-wing Zionist as the director of all news, Bari Weiss. Right,
and now we have a federal government like the FCC and all these federal regulatory agencies that have been captured by the industry that they're supposed to regulate because political money motivates who gets in the office. And so it's why, like, back in like the early 1900s they established antitrust laws in the first place to prevent these monopolies from being able to operate as such.
That's exactly right. Where are the antitrust laws now? I mean, the consolidation that we've seen in media is insane. And the fact that Ellison, his son, I can't remember his son's name, Larry Ellison, and the son, who's the one over Skydance, are now supposed to be part of the group buying TikTok. So they'll have Paramount, CBS, TikTok. I was actually happy to see that Netflix won that, even though it does represent exactly what you're saying, which is massive media consolidation. But I'd rather Ted Sarandos, who, is at least not a far right-wing Netanyahu stan, at least we got it just not all going over. Over to the Trump portfolio.
Yeah, and
at least not for now. These folks can flip on you in a minute. Remember Zuckerberg and them used to be supposedly anti-Trump, and now they're kissing the ring and, paying for a ballroom.
Right, whoever lining their pockets. I mean, it's all about more. I need more business, more money, like King Kong, more. Oh, okay, we're going to go to Michael?
Yeah, let's
from
do it.
Kansas City. Maybe, I don't know.
Going to Kansas City. Kansas City, here I come.
Here you come. 12th Street and Vine, which actually 18th and Vine is a more popular place. Good morning, Dominique, and good morning, Sherri Bell.
Good morning.
Sherri Bell, you mentioned that, the Supreme Court really is not apolitical. Okay, it's right with politics. Well, here's a little known fact about Judge Taney and the Dred Scott case. There is a group called the National Judicial College right outside St. Louis, and St. Louis is where the actual Dred Scott case was held. The National Judicial College has seminars, and this is probably 5 or 6 years ago. There's about 100 lawyers there. They had direct descendants of Judge Taney, the Scott family, Dred Scott, and I think it was Robert E. Lee or somebody from the Confederacy. These people were all on a panel. It was fascinating.
Wow.
All of them shared a lot of information, but on Taney, this would be his great-great-great-granddaughter or something like that. She said that little-known family fact, that early in his career, in his legal career, Taney had represented a minister that was an abolitionist and got him off. I mean, he was facing death penalty. Judge Taney, who wrote the opinion, Negroes have no rights that whites need to follow, represented an abolitionist and got the person off. And people were stunned, and they said, "Well, how could that be?" And somebody yelled out, "Politics." If he wanted to move up, he had to switch sides, which he did. So,
in a big way. That's wild. I've never heard that story before.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. This comes from one of his descendants. On the Scott family, their papers that they got as a part of this trial was in an aunt's dresser drawer, but then got set on the curb. They lost all of that.
Wow, that's terrible.
With the Robert E. Lee or the descendant, the guy said, I never did much anything. I was just kind of enjoying life. One day a letter shows up, said, I'm getting a full ride to SMU or something like that. So when it comes to politics, the Supreme Court, everybody knows the Supreme Court.
Everybody knows it, Michael, but it's gotten so much more blatant, right? I mean, they used to at least pretend to be sort of neutral. Now they're just little puppets for Trump. Yeah, little trumpets.
And one other thing, and then I'll go. One other thing about the importance of black media. My godmother, who was born, Miss Fulton, Frances Fulton, born early 1900s, had a saying: if you want to know what's going on in the black community, you need to read the local Negro newspaper.
Miss Fulton was on point.
So what I've done for years, if we, before the internet, if we were going to St. Louis for a weekend, we'd find a place that had the St. Louis American, the local Negro newspaper, just to find out what was going on. We could go to some events. With the internet, I can read the St. Louis American online. That's how I found out about the National Judicial College event.
Nice.
So we drove down to see it. And also the sister that took the flag down in South Carolina.
Yes.
She spoke at Washington University in St. Louis. We see it in St. Louis American, so we drove down to hear her speak. Fascinating. I asked the question, we're here from the other side of the state, just wanted to say that, your message gets out far and wide. So I asked the question, because she was not found guilty, but they delayed it. So I asked the question, do you think when you go back to court, you'll be found guilty or innocent? She said, I'm not going back to court. They just want to let this die.
Wow.
So, So again, politics.
Thank you for calling. Homework Guild in the YouTube chat says, my worry is what happens when Trump intimidates Google into blocking all left-leaning accounts, including this one, because they're labeled as subversive. It's a fair question because they're moving in that direction. They've got this total partisan hack at the head of the FCC. So, I mean, it's coming. We're going to have to figure out workarounds and ways around. Mm-hmm. That's what I know. I think YouTube is a little less in the mix right so far than Facebook and Instagram and now TikTok, which they are will start ruining that come January if the deal goes through, which it may not.
Oh, okay. We're going to take Lynette from LA.
Sure. Hi, Lynette.
Good morning, and thanks for taking my call. Reparations in memory of our ancestors, and we know that the struggle continues, but always to God be the glory.
Okay, Lynette, I'm going to give you a little disclaimer here. You got 60 seconds till news, traffic, and sports. We can continue on the other side, but me and Sherri can't be late.
Yeah, I can also hold, but we deserve better than this, y'all. I'm just, this Supreme Court stuff,
right.
They ain't numbered Nazis. They need to be disbarred. And I know people say, well, they get lifetime appointments. Nah, but see, they are so corrupt that they need to be investigated and removed and disbarred and not able to practice law nowhere, including that Attorney General. And I'm going to keep on saying it until I turn blue. Disbar these jokers because they don't belong there, just like Trump don't belong there. 34-count felon as a president. And here they want to talk about President Obama, every little thing he does, which compared to him, it ain't nothing. So I just don't want to hear it no more about, we got to go through this and that. We got to hang with it. No, we don't, because they was protesting a week ago at the Lincoln Memorial talking about impeach Trump. Thousands of people showed up.
Yeah. Yep. Lynette, we've got news, traffic, and sports. We'll keep it going on the other side. Sherri Bell and Dominique DePrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. President Trump wished Americans a Merry Christmas at the National Tree Lighting in Washington, D.C. Thursday night.
So is everybody ready to light the beautiful Christmas tree? Are you ready? So the First Lady is going to do the honors.
The tradition, started in 1923 by President Calvin Coolidge, continues with thousands of lights shining on the ellipse near the White House. A grand jury has again declined to indict Black New York Attorney General Letitia James over mortgage fraud claims. Earlier charges of bank fraud and false statements were dismissed. James denies wrongdoing. And LeBron James's historic scoring streak is over after nearly 1,300 games. He scored 8 points in the Lakers' 123-120 win over Toronto, ending a run of 1,297 straight games in double figures beginning in 2007. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and most of all, being known, loved, and protected. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
One of the most significant milestones in LeBron's 23-year NBA career came to an end Thursday night in Toronto. The Lakers beat Toronto 123-120 on Rui Hachimura's three-pointer at the buzzer, but the main discussion after the game and around the NBA was LeBron. For the first time in 18 years, LeBron failed to score in double figures, a streak that had lasted an NBA record 1,297 consecutive games. LeBron had 8 points in 36 minutes. He only made 4 of 17 shots, including 0 for 5 on three-pointers, and had no free throw attempts. LeBron did have 11 assists. Number 11 set up Hachimura for his game-winning shot. LeBron had the ball on the Lakers' final possession, but he saw Hachimura open in the corner. To put this in perspective, Michael Jordan is the only player close to LeBron with 866 straight games scoring in double figures. That 1,297 might never be broken. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Protect yourself from Medicare card scams. Scammers may call, email, or even knock on your door claiming they need your Medicare info, asking for money or threatening to cancel your benefits. Don't fall for it. It's a scam. Remember, Medicare doesn't need to verify your information. They already have it. Medicare won't charge you for a new card and will never threaten to cancel benefits. Check your Medicare statements for suspicious charges and report scams to the California Senior Medicare Patrol at 1-855-613-7080. We're here to help.
Celebrate the soul of the holidays and support Altadena and Pasadena. Join us on Monday, December 15th, 7 p.m. inside the Bram Goldsmith Theater at the Wallace in Beverly Hills for Soul of the Holidays, a joyful night of Motor City soul, gospel, and holiday classics featuring an 18-piece band, all-star vocalist, and community choirs, all in support of the Black LA Relief and Recovery Fund. This performance comes at a pivotal time for many in Altadena and Pasadena. This is their first holiday season since the devastating Altadena Eden Canyon fire, which destroyed homes and community spaces. While the physical losses are immense, the power of community remains, and your attendance directly supports recovery, resilience, and renewal. So, be sure to join us Monday, December 15th, 7 p.m. inside the Bram Goldsmith Theater at the Wallace in Beverly Hills for Soul of the Holidays, benefiting survivors of the Altadena Eden Canyon fire. For ticket information, just log on to tickets@thewallace.org. That's tickets@thewallace.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580 and the Black Freedom Fund.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be 1,000,000 miles away. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit tremfya.com.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, indeed. Sherri Bell is here. Hey, Sherri, your buddies from the Black Worker Center were here with us yesterday, and they did an amazing job.
I'm so happy. I love them. Yeah, I'm so glad they made it on to talk about the current campaign of trying to reform the city charter to have some kind of accountability to institutional racism in employment. I mean, when you think about the most vulnerable people impacted by employment discrimination, it's Black workers. So, I hope that when we have any more public call outs to come support, I know we're going down there. I know they probably said it was next Thursday, the 11th, at like 4:00, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
we'll look it up.
yeah.
I think that's what it was. And the Hollywood Reporter had an article about it, not about the LA Black Worker Center, but about charter reform, which surprised me. But it's because the co-director of Everything Everywhere All at Once, that huge hit Academy Award winning movie, apparently he's on a mission about charter reform and has joined an organization based on charter reform, which I thought was fascinating. He said he likes to nerd out. His name is Daniel Kwan. He said he likes to nerd out on big, complex projects like charter reform.
Oh.
And they made the point, which I didn't realize, is that it's been 30 years since the last time we reformed a city charter, which is like the rules for the city.
Yeah. It's crazy, and like to think about when it was formed. It wasn't the best of times, for Black people and other people of color.
America was great again.
Yeah. So and to not have been revisited, in very limited occasions is, concerning. But yeah, we'll see. I know there's several different proposals on the table about like expanding city council and things of that nature. So, we'll see where the chips fall.
Yeah, the organization is called Rewrite the Charter, I think. And that's his organization. But I just think it's interesting that, Rewrite LA. It's called Rewrite LA. I think it's interesting that this Academy Award winning filmmaker is going, okay, you know what? This is important. Right. Hopefully that will help it pick up steam.
I agree. And I remember him giving his acceptance speeches and stuff. And I remember he had like some good things to say about representation and whatnot. So he seemed to be pretty progressive.
Yeah, that movie, is pretty progressive by itself.
Yeah.
Want to hit these phones?
Oh, sure. We'll go to Kwamel and Adina.
Hi, Kwamel.
Hang on. What happened to Lynette, though?
Huh? What you doing?
Did you have Lynette?
Oh, Lynette went back to work.
I see. I do declare I see. Okay. Well, in that case, hello there.
Hello. You're so fair.
Yes. Now, first off, before I begin a quick rant, Kobe really should still be here. Piece of LeBron on that scoring streak. But putting the Jordan versus LeBron thing, putting that in perspective, it just made me really think Kobe really should still be here. Just really sad that the whole helicopter thing. And the determination to get to a tournament and all that. It's really sad that whole thing went down the way it did. It was just that bad moment in history. He really should still be here. But just wanted to talk real quick about your boy Pete Keg's breath and Cash Patel, Cash Versatile, whatever the hell his name is.
His actual name is Cash App. I don't know if that's how you say it, but the Cash is short for Cash App. I'm not making that up. I'm really not.
Creepy Cash Patel.
I don't know. It could be Venmo Pastel for all I care, but I think we are starting to turn a corner here. We're starting to hear the other shows, pundits, all these different people. Everybody's getting glimmers of hope now again. I want to know if you possibly also felt that, or are you starting to see it for yourselves, or Tavis, or any of the gang, just with some of the boneheaded stuff going on, and people beginning not to tolerate it as much, not just sitting there saying it is what it is like they used to, and seeing that we can whittle away at this, and that when we fight, we do win. So more people are getting up ready to fight at this point. And that's a thing that I think can rub off on us. There's things worth fighting for, and that the devil has not won. Word to my man Carl and Big Phil and Willie and Palmville and all the others that saying the devil don't sleep, But just wanted to throw that out there before work, and I'll take y'all's comments off the air. Just wanted to say hi to the lovely ladies, and shout out to my man Ron in Richmond. Check in with that Bay team goodness when you can, my brother.
Thank you, Kwamel. Do you think the pushback is getting stronger, Sherri? Do you think people are realizing the devil does not always win? The devil has not won. It ain't over till it's over.
I do agree. This is so embarrassing. What's going on, how we see people talking and behaving, and just no class, man. It's just the class and decorum is out the window. The respectful communication, kids growing up seeing this kind of behavior on TV, man, try to really, I hope that their parents and mentors and really try to guide them away from the examples that they see being set, because to your point about us seeing the light, I think that people are starting to see how tacky the communication is. And even the most conservative racist people gotta probably be embarrassed sometimes, at this type of communication that we're seeing, the rudeness, the falling asleep on TV, all this just bad, unprofessional conduct. It's at the end of the day, these are people performing a job. This is an occupation. And anyone out here that has a job know that there's expectations and how we show up and whatnot. And these people, like, everything they're doing is just like, they got it's like they talk about DEI. It's like they got the job, not because of what the qualifications are. None of these people. And you see it reflected. And every time they get on TV, about their lack of qualification. Their qualification was saying the right things to people who want to scapegoat other people for bad policy, who want to believe in, like, they fell for the race baiting that this administration used to get into office by, like, your problems are these people's fault, or, you know, your groceries are high because of these people. And they use that manipulation and mind tricks to get in office, and they don't have the qualifications to do it. And that's what you see playing out on TV right now. And so, yeah, nobody, like, we couldn't get away with it. You know, black folks couldn't get away with it, you know.
Well, it's actually what they accuse, you know, when Charlie Kirk talked about he feels scared when he sees a black pilot. Does the person have qualifications or not? See, that's the stuff they accuse us of doing. But the fact is, you cannot be a pilot without flying a certain amount of hours, getting certain certifications and training.
Right.
But apparently you can be defense secretary without any of that.
Right.
You can be defense secretary with almost no experience. And I wouldn't even want that job. I don't want to be the head of the Pentagon. I already know that I don't know how to do it. Like, that's not, I have opinions. I think I could be a great consultant. We need to spend less money on war and more money to feed the poor, in the words of Tupac.
Right,
we can start there. But, you know, why would you even want a job that you are so wildly unqualified to do?
I mean, money and power. Or because maybe they were asked by a person who knew that this person not going to do what they're supposed to do, and we just going to put them in there because they easy manipulate. I don't know.
I think that the president it's like central casting for him.
Exactly.
He wants people to look a certain way. He doesn't care if they can do it. He thinks he knows how to do everything that he doesn't know how to do.
Right.
So he figures anyone can do any job as long as they're white and male.
Media personalities, like reality show contestants, like that's what you said. Like, he's casting it like it's an apprentice season.
And then, what could possibly go wrong?
Everything.
War crimes. Let's go to Fahima calling us from Washington, D.C. Good morning.
Baragani and K. Pasa, Dominique, and greetings, Sherri Bell. How are you ladies doing today?
Doing well, thank you.
Great, thanks.
Good. I wanted to briefly talk about the Brian Cole Jr., the alleged suspect that the FBI arrested as the J6 pipe bomber. You know, and I sent you an article because Jake Tapper had identified him as a white guy, and it's supposed to be a black man. You know, his grandmother indicated that he is on the spectrum. And everyone, because in fact, a few weeks ago, they were saying that it might have been Marjorie Taylor Greene. It was a Capitol Police woman that they were suspecting. Now, all of a sudden, mysteriously, it's this black guy on the spectrum. Is there something isn't right about this situation? Right. And this administration was minimizing J6 for the past several years, and now it's a high priority.
Well, that's why I said, is Trump going to pardon him? That was my question. I mean, but that's back to your point about it being fishy. Why not? You pardoned everybody else that did a crime in connection with January 6th, or almost everybody else.
Yeah, I don't believe he did this. It just, something isn't right. And if he did, he may have been, if he's on the spectrum, he might have been manipulated to do so. But the profile does not look like him in that video.
Well, the video that they're showing definitely does look like a man. It doesn't look like a woman. But, you know, to your point about Marjorie Taylor Greene or whoever. But, you know, we clearly were on the 1-800-BLAME, you know, administration. So it's hard to know. I don't know. I would have to have more information. He's definitely black, though.
It's quite unsettling. It's quite unsettling. And I don't trust this administration and Kash Patel leading the investigation. Anyway, I got to go. I have a training at the top of the hour, but I'll check back in perhaps once I'm done.
All right. Well, thank you for calling and thanks for weighing in.
No, I think I agree with her. Like, I was thinking about this when I seen the press conference and Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, and they was like, man, yeah, we did the job that the Democrats couldn't do. They sat on this case for 5 years and, they just ignored evidence. Something told me, is this a black person? Like, the way that they were so happy to, like, bring it forward. Like, I'm like, they're holding somebody accountable. They're happy they nabbed somebody. But then when I found out who it was, I kind of got to see, okay, it makes sense as to why they're making such a big spectacle of it. I have my reservations about the suspect as well. I mean, whether he did it or not, we don't know, but it is a lot of mistrust in this administration, and it does make my little spidey senses go up just seeing all of this brought together and who and how.
Yeah, I mean, also the fact that Kash Patel is completely, speaking of people unqualified to do that job, and that we just saw a report from senior FBI agents saying that the agency is in total disarray and chaos. And so for them to be up there beating their chest about that they solved some big case, which is completely fishy, Fahima. First of all, you've already pardoned most of the January 6 people, so why do you even care? Mm-hmm. Second of all, if the agency is in chaos and disarray, it seems highly unlikely that they would solve a complex case other than just going, oh, we'll just put it on this guy. We'll just find a scapegoat and make it look like we did a thing, make it look like we're successful. And thirdly, the hypocrisy around their joy at prosecuting anybody black is quite notable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we do have a lot to talk about. I wanted to get your thoughts, Sherri Bell, when we come forward on the Starbucks strikes, which seem to be spreading throughout the nation. And, of course, you're welcome to call us, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DePrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you coughing a lot, especially at night? Are you often short of breath? Are you using your rescue inhaler often? These could be signs that your asthma is not under control. To keep your asthma in check and help prevent an asthma attack, ask your healthcare provider for an asthma action plan. This is a personalized plan you create with your doctor that shows you what to do and what medicines to help control your asthma and to use when you're having a hard time breathing or when you're having an asthma attack. Please don't wait until you're having an asthma attack. Do something about it now. Schedule a visit with your healthcare provider today to make that action plan and take control of your asthma. For more tips and resources on the management of asthma, visit luma-edu.com. This message is brought to you by Amgen and AstraZeneca.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
The only thing between you and your best self is a start button. This Cyber Monday, explore the world with Nordic Track. From the peaks of Peru to the streets of Paris, every workout moves you somewhere new with iFit trainers leading the way. The equipment's amazing, smooth, quiet, and those screens make it all feel real. Ready to start your next workout adventure with the #1 treadmill brand in the U.S.? Shop NordicTrack.com for Cyber Monday savings. Nordic Track. Train anywhere, explore everywhere.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA
LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth. Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome.
We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
It's Christmas in LA, Sherri Bell, and this winter, Metro is spreading holiday cheer across LA. Our city is festive. We got lights, we got mariachis, we got markets and parades and lights. I love the lights. I love Christmas lights. Well, this week, this season, Metro and MetroLink are teaming up to do a special festive thing. They're doing party trains. It's a specially decorated Metro train with Mr. and Mrs. Claus and snacks and music, carolers.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be really, really festive and fun. The first one is taking off on Saturday, and you're invited. We have a pair of tickets for caller 15 right now, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. Crafts, entertainment, treats, and they say it's an immersive seasonal experience designed to create lasting memories.
Oh my goodness, it sounds so wonderful.
Yeah, it sounds really cute. So, you board the train, you ride around, you're going to go all around LA, you're going to have just a festive holiday event. It's a splash. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. That is the number if you want a pair of tickets to the party train. So cute. I love that so much. I just think it's adorable. I'm really into festivities. Yeah. You know what I mean? I like Christmas and Easter and Kwanzaa,
right,
and winter solstice and Halloween. Like, I know people have theories about, and I get that we don't want to lean into the predatory capitalist aspect, but I just like the fun part.
Yeah, the fun part, the good parties, the chuckles that you get when people do dress up or do fun. It takes your mind away from all the mundane, serious stuff sometimes.
Yep, yeah. I agree. Well, so Starbucks is going to pay $35 million to over 15,000 workers in New York to settle claims that it denied them stable schedules and cut off their hours. And that is happening in the backdrop of massive strikes against Starbucks. Bernie Sanders and Zoran Mamdani joined workers last weekend, and the strike seems to be spreading. It started off with 65 stores across the United States because they're saying that Starbucks is not negotiating in good faith, that they're targeting union organizers. And they were trying to shut down Red Cup Day, which is one of their busiest days of the year when they give out these free reusable red cups. But it started out in 45 cities, and it seems like it's spreading.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing, because the worker power that fuels this is what's needed to create, fair working conditions and wages. And yes, Starbucks does have a pattern of retaliating against stores who organize. I know that they closed one out here. They'll close it. They'll say safety conditions or whatever. They'll do that to retaliate. But it makes me so sad and angry to know that a place like Starbucks is employment provider for so many people when it was so many much better jobs back in the day before industries got shipped off in the globalization trend about shipping off domestic jobs internationally where they can pay less wages. And so, but I mean, if this is all we got, this is all we got, so
wow.
If they,
I mean, to your point, they have 10,000 stores, 550 are unionized. And they closed 59 union stores in September alone.
Yeah, see, it's not by coincidence that they're closing these union stores, and all these individuals are doing is just trying to get a piece of the pie, right? This corporation is making a mass profit, and it's being held at the top, and it's not being distributed to the hardworking people who are responsible for creating and generating that wealth. And all these individuals are asking for is a little bit more to sustain a better quality of life for them and their families. And I'm glad that they're seeing some type of resolve, because we know what corporate greed is when we see it. So
yeah, and it's made worse by the fact that Brian Niccol, the chairman and CEO of Starbucks, has this insane pay package. And this is an example of how CEO pay has just gotten crazy compared to the pay of the average worker. Right. So I don't know. I don't go to Starbucks anymore, and it kind of sucks because I like their stuff that they sell. I actually do like their stuff. We got 60 seconds here. Sherri Bell, what you want to leave us with?
Well, I mean, just piggybacking off the last segment, it's like anybody who don't know what a union is, they're there to balance the power between you as an employee and the people at the top that's able to make all the decisions. So don't fall for propaganda that unions are bad. Unions are meant to empower the workers on the ground and advocate for a better way of life. So if you're not a part of a union at your job, join a union, spread the word, because that's what got us the weekend.
Not the artist, the weekend, right. the actual weekend where you get Saturday and Sunday off.
Right.
This guy making $95.8 million.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. So there we go.
Well, Sherri Bell, thank you so much. As always, you can find Sherri at Sherri De La Ghetto.
That's right.
On Instagram. Find me at DePrima Radio. Always fun talking with you.
Always fun talking to you as well. And the YouTube chat.
Friedman Friday is next. We're talking reparations on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. President Trump wished Americans a Merry Christmas at the National Tree Lighting in Washington, D.C. Thursday night.
So is everybody ready to light the beautiful Christmas tree? Are you ready? So the First Lady is going to do the honors.
The tradition, started in 1923 by President Calvin Coolidge, continues with thousands of lights shining on the ellipse near the White House. A grand jury has again declined to indict Black New York Attorney General Letitia James over mortgage fraud claims. Earlier charges of bank fraud and false statements were dismissed. James denies wrongdoing. And LeBron James